Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new here, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time it's the night before St. Patrick's Day, you'll be alerted to it. Happy nearly St. Patrick's Day, everybody. What are your plans for tomorrow? Is anybody going to be in a parade?
I gotta work.
Anybody going to be drinking anything green? Anybody watching The Quiet Man? Almost guaranteed I will be watching that John Wayne
So long as it's
tomorrow.
John Wayne version and not the remake.
I think you're thinking of True Grit with how to remake.
That's right.
But Quiet Man, it stands alone. They don't even dare remake that movie, right?
That's right. So welcome to our Thursday night live stream. I see a lot of people talking about it. It's cold. Yes.
Unexpectedly.
It's been cold here. I actually wore a jacket for my lacrosse game. I just got home like 15 minutes ago. I ran home. I was down in Miami. My drive down there was ridiculous. It took me over 2 hours to get there. I was actually 10 minutes late to my game.
I am so sorry, but Keto Simple had me cracking up. Joe, I love the hoodie. Way to be a trash can and not a trash can't. I love it.
It's the only green I have.
I know, right? Well, you don't want to get pinched. I actually need to make sure that our granddaughter has something green. I don't want our grandpuppy pinching Peyton tomorrow.
So, a couple bits of housekeeping. By the way, Keto Simple had a great review video today about, or not a review. They tried the citrus Zip Fizz.
Okay.
And they were talking about it. It smells like it tastes like teenagers' feet.
Ew! So, that is wildly specific.
That was wildly specific. But one of the questions they were talking about was, what's with the plastic? Because we mentioned it last week on our live stream that we're not really doing Zip Fizz anymore because I think they've changed the ingredients. At least the ingredient label now says glucose polymer. I'm actually going to test it because we've got some of the new Freestyle Libre 3 CGMs, and I want to test it because I'm curious if it affects us, because we've tested it before and it didn't, but I think they've rechanged it. But one of the questions they were talking about on that live stream was, what's with the plastic? I have been in contact with Zip Fizz in the past about like why all the plastic, and what I was told was it preserves the vitamins.
Okay.
But in my experience, if you let them sit a little while,
they go bad.
They taste funky and medicine-y after a little while. So I don't know how much it actually preserves the vitamins. But I thought it was interesting. But I wanted to mention electrolytes. I got an email while I was down at my game today from Redmond. Redmond is reformulating. They will be coming out in the spring. Hopefully we'll get some when they come out. But they are reformulating their Relight.
Nice.
With a better form of magnesium.
Okay.
And because they're using a different form of magnesium.
All right.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'm going to.
Okay, well, here we go.
Here's the thing. They will be 0 calorie. They will taste just as good. And it will mix easier. That's the biggest complaint with Redmond, is it doesn't mix well.
Yes.
So the new form of magnesium will allow it to mix really well.
How exciting.
Now, they said that some of the tubs are going to start going out of stock. They're going to be changing over their whole line.
Right.
I guess
that makes
slowly.
sense.
So the new one will be coming out in the spring. But in the meantime, I guess, to clear out the stock, the sticks are 20% off when you use the link down below.
Wow. Okay.
So if you like Redmond Relight, you can get the sticks.
I like
at
sales.
20% off. Use our link down below. And here's the cool thing: if there's other stuff you need, like you can't stack our Two Crazy Ketos 15% off coupon code on top of the 20% off. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. But what you can do is, if you order a bunch, let's say you get the sticks at 20%, and then you put in the code 2crazyketos, and you also buy some like the organic garlic pepper and the seasoned salt and regular salt. Yeah, I know we're out.
We're like totally out of the garlic pepper.
So the coupon code will still apply to everything else in your order, just not to the Redmond Relight.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I don't know how long. I guess it's until they sell out.
I am actually hearing this information at the same time you are. Like, you would think, like, we discuss things all the time, but we do not.
So Rita, I really like them because they do use Redmond real salt, obviously.
Miss Rita had me cracking up, saying, Joe, wouldn't it be easier to drive home rather than to run home?
I know.
I love it.
Also, I wanted to mention tomorrow, Keto Chow for St. Patrick's Day, Irish cream.
Yes.
I got the little thing here, is going to be 20% off when you use our link down below. Please use our link. And you use the code IRISH20, you get 20% off of this thing. But it's only from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. But the cool thing is that 5 people who purchase, when they use that code, they're going to get their full order refunded.
What? I mean...
And if you spend less than $50...
That's pretty exciting.
You get a $50 gift card. But if you spend more than $50, let's say you
gonna
buy $500 worth of Keto Chow, 5 people are going to get their whole order. So $500, you get $500 completely refunded.
Speaking of which, you need to purchase some chocolate for your son.
I
saw that there was a friend request.
Chocolate and chocolate peanut butter for John Paul.
I will be heading up there on Sunday because I'm going to go. You have a dive that you're doing.
Hopefully. The weather's been horrible. I haven't been in the water since before Utah.
And I found out that one of my favorite authors in the whole world, Joyce Meyer, is going to be at Christ Fellowship Church in Palm Beach Gardens. That's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from John Paul and Michelle. And so I'm getting up at the butt crack of dawn because I'm assuming it's going to get packed.
It's gonna be
packed, but I'm excited.
So if you're new to our live streams, our Thursday live streams,
welcome.
We're just about hanging out with you guys. We'll answer any questions, keto, carnivore, any kind of questions. Go ahead and post them in the chat. We get to as many as we can. The best way to get a hold of us and make sure we see it is put at 2crazyketos, the little at sign. 2crazyketos in your question, because that's what I'm going to look for. Or you can use the super chat function, which really does benefit the channel. That's the little $sign that is in the chat window, and you make a little donation to the channel, and it highlights our screen and lets us know, hey, somebody has a question.
Semi-retired Bob is here. So good to see you, young man. So awesome seeing Ready, Set, Keto also. I love it. I love
James,
hanging out.
I don't know if you saw, I sent you your text. Yeah, give me a... let me know what your schedule is like, and we can definitely talk about some audio and stuff like that.
I love it.
So, Greg is here. Said,
Hi,
good
Greg.
evening. I was at a SAR team meeting and didn't know I would make it back in time.
I'm so glad
Tomorrow's
you
my
did.
birthday, and I want to hear the song.
Oh, yes. Okay, for Greg. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Greg. Happy birthday to you and many more. How cool is it that you're born on St. Patrick's Day? Super, super fun. Like, did you ever believe, like my mother did, that that the parades were for you? She was born on the 4th of July and was completely convinced that the fireworks were on her behalf.
Yeah. Keto Simple said Zip has reached out to me, and they say they understand and will reach out if they change the formula.
I love it.
Yeah, it's to me, there's lots of options out there.
I'm not gonna lie, I really love their fruit punch flavor. That was my absolute favorite. It tasted like church baby shower punch. That's what it tasted like to me. If you've ever been to like a bridal shower or a baby shower, it tastes like that kind of punch. Where I don't know if they put like, it's like sherbet and like some sort of a soda mixed together. Tell me that I'm not right about this. Has anybody else had baby shower punch and then you've tried a fruit punch Zip Fizz and you're like, they nailed that?
Leslie said, any chance you guys are coming to the Charleston, South Carolina RV show this weekend? No, unfortunately not.
How fun though.
It's just at this time of the year, I actually have a lacrosse game on Saturday. At this time of the year, it's so hard to travel. Like, I'm going to be missing playoffs to go to KetoCon, which I have not told our assigner yet.
Are going to that Charleston RV show, could you put in like either a Facebook family group or in Mighty Networks, wherever you're at, if you're participating, like, what is your favorite rig? I love seeing rigs. Randy is here. Hello, sir.
Speaking of RVs, I was driving home talking to our son and trying to enlist his help because somebody wants to learn how to boondock.
I do. It's time.
And so If you don't know what boondocking is, it's living like in your RV but no power, like no plug-in. And so I'm gonna upgrade all of the batteries and add more solar and an inverter.
What?
And I think I know how to do it, but when you have a son who is a certified master electrician with his own business,
we use
why
that
not
up.
be like, hey, I could use some help. Plus, it gives me an excuse to hang out with him, and he'll probably bring the baby down and hang out with you. But I'm like,
win-win.
Plus, he's got some of the tools that I don't have to cut like 4/0 wire.
How is it possible that somebody has a tool you don't have?
Because it's not something I've ever needed before. But if
Lord,
he doesn't have the
mercy.
tool, I will buy it if it makes
Are
my
you
job
somebody
easier.
that is like, I've got to have all the tools? Like, are you somebody that's like, or love somebody that is the all the tool person?
Isn't it the same thing with keto? The right tools for the right job, and if you
does make a difference.
If you have the right tools, then you're going to have success. I remember years ago, I bought a saw. We were going to put down a floor, and I bought a flooring saw that you can bring in the house, you hook it up to a vacuum, and it creates zero dust. And it was only like $150. And Rachel's like, why are you buying this? I'm like, because it makes my job easier. It cut like 5 hours off of the installation. She's like, yeah, but you have other saws. I'm like, but it cuts 5 hours off the installation. And since I'm doing it myself, like, what's, $20 an hour. My time is worth more
I
than
will
that.
say I do enjoy having the proper cooking accoutrement. Last night, did I not make you the best casserole last night?
You did.
It was so stinking good.
Yeah, I got home from my game at 10 o'clock at night, and Rachel's like,
me.
I got food for you.
I mean, I'm trying to get lucky here. So, but I used the Blackstone and mixed just a pound of ground beef, pound of pork. It totally cooked up super fast. There's nothing like a Blackstone as far as like, you've just got so much space to be able to cook. Mix that up with some chopped up poblano peppers. Now, I did make it lazy engineered beef. I did add a scoop of tomato basil keto chow while I was cooking it.
You used ground beef, though. You didn't use like a shredded chop.
No, I used ground beef. I used pork. And then I mixed it with a scoop of tomato keto chow, tomato basil. And then I mixed it with cream cheese and chopped up poblano peppers. And then I put it into a casserole dish, into the oven, 350 for 20 minutes. And I sprinkled mozzarella on top and some Parmesan. And it was good.
Raj said, does anyone know if Joe and Rachel sent out the 50,000 subscriber giveaway prizes? Mine hasn't
Oh,
arrived.
no. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. But I don't remember sending you one. I don't know if I ever got your email because I know there were like 3 that we didn't hear from the winners. So Rush, do me a favor, send
it to us.
Send me an email at joe@2crazyketos with all your shipping information because I know that there's 3 other ones over there that never got shipped out because we didn't hear from the winners.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
So, yeah. Also, I did not hear from the winner for the Keto Chow box. So we're going to pick a new winner for that
hair
tomorrow.
That's like sticking up weird. Look at that.
Jazzy said, I'm not drinking something green, but I'm having Bones Irish Cream Coffee with a splash of almond extract. As for the creamer, chocolate mint whipped brown butter bites.
That sounds amazing. What a fancy coffee. Don't tell me that we can't have fun coffees on keto, yo.
Yep.
Fun coffees. I don't know who told me, and I don't know if you noticed, but the whipped cream, if you use like a sugar-free whipped cream or you make your own heavy whipping cream like we do, and just sprinkle a little bit of that chocolate element on top of the whipped cream, oh my goodness. I don't know who told me, but thank you.
Rita said, excited for KetoCon, was looking at the schedule today and starting to think about what talks I want to attend. Well, make sure you're attending ours, which is on Sunday.
We understand.
No, we don't.
Joe does not understand.
We don't.
Rachel understands.
We don't understand if you don't want to attend ours.
We want you to attend. Obviously, we want you to attend ours. But we also understand that there is a ton of great speakers there. It's amazing.
Of KetoCon, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if Robin's in here or not, but Robin did send me an email and she needs solo headshots. So I think you have them somewhere, right?
I don't have a headshot. We have got to get.
You've got stuff from when we were in Utah, don't you?
Hopefully.
Didn't you get some pictures taken?
I'll have to see if we can get those back.
We need those.
Because don't we need another picture where I don't have brown hair? All of the pictures we have, we took one nice picture in a fancy dress and I got brown hair and like that's it. And so now you show up to a place and I mean, you're bald, so like you're good. Doesn't
good.
matter. Styles will change and Joe remains the same. But like I got a brown head of hair the last time we had a good picture. Cause I'm not good about taking pictures.
Let's see. Carrie said next year, my 2024, my birthday on April 13th will be on a
Friday the 13th. How cool is that? Speaking of which, and I know everybody doesn't like scary movies, but I got one scary movie aficionado in the house. That is Anthony. We went to go see, which honestly is just a continuation of the 90s for me, and that is the latest Scream movie. He actually bought the tickets at Christmas time. He was thinking ahead to March. And he's like, the next Scream movie is going to be coming out. Do you want to go with me, Mommy? I was like, yes, of course. Whatever my kids want to do, let's do it. Took me to a 4D, which was 3D movie, which was scary enough, yo. Because I was like, 4D, let's go see an Avatar, right? Not a scary movie. Because it was so immersive. The seats move. And there was a point where there's people trying to get away from the bad guy. And they're trying to get across using a ladder from one apartment building to the next apartment building. And the bad guy is shaking the ladder and your seat is shaking at the same time.
Nice.
I was like, oh my gracious, I was about in Anthony's lap.
Semi-retired Bob said, are we coming to Omaha this year?
Yes,
I believe we are.
We are.
I actually have to get a hold of Dr. Seaman. But yeah, we are planning on. That's just a conference I don't like to miss.
No,
Plus, it's the only
so
time we get out
good.
to the Midwest.
I
And we
love
really
it.
like it. Plus, it brings back memories of like frozen kombucha. Patty said, Swerve has apparently been bought out by not sure who, and the formula ingredients changed.
Wow.
We'll have to be watching for that.
Keep an eye
Randy
on those.
said, Rachel Boondock. Why?
I know.
Well, because one of the places that Florida has so many amazing places to go.
Like Harvest Host things.
But not even just Harvest Host, like state parks and you know, national parks.
Like
There's so
Ocala.
many things that you can do in Florida. Like you could literally hit different campgrounds every single weekend of the year in Florida and not go to the same state park twice.
Yeah.
But one of the places that I would love to go is to Ocala National Forest. The problem with Ocala National Forest is the full hookup sites are first come, first serve. Like no reserving.
Right.
Rachel cannot handle that.
I cannot handle being like, are you done with your campsite? Because I need that campsite. There's no way.
But they have a lot of boondocking sites.
Right, I can handle that better.
And also the full actually it's not water hook. There's no water hookup, but I'm okay with that. But the full power sites, it's what I call an RV parking lot. Right? It's just, you know, it's just a parking lot. And
no space to spread out.
But if you go to the boondocking sites, like you're in the middle of we have a national forest in Florida. I mean, think about that.
We don't even have a hill.
I know,
but we have a national forest.
Right. So
is it magical?
Yeah. So there's a lot of places that we would like to go to that
I got to
have
get used to it, though.
but
I got practice.
But Rachel's like, I need some necessities.
This is the year of new things. Do you know that tomorrow morning will make my third run of the week, yo?
Yeah.
I'm
Keto
in
Simple
it.
said RVing with power, but it's off-grid. RVing with your solar?
Yeah.
And whatever batteries you put in. So if I put in enough lithium batteries.
Not like AA, AAA?
Not double, no. Or, you know, lithium ion phosphate batteries, to be technical.
Ooh, look
you
at
probably still won't be able to run
Fancy.
your air conditioner for more than maybe an hour, but, you know.
Crying. Yeah, boondocking will let you learn water management. And Randy's absolutely correct on that. And what happens is, like, we got into the situation with that with, like, the Tampa RV show.
Yeah.
And
that kind of woke us up.
I am so, like, not okay being stressed out anymore. And, like, Joe can tell you, when I feel like we may not have enough water, I may not, like, be able to take a shower, I get stressed out, and I don't like that feeling. So I need to make peace with the boondocking.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When we went to the Tampa RV show, there were some problems with the power. We paid for power. I know Chris was there. She didn't have power more than half the time. Now, I will say,
They were so awesome.
They were amazing. They refunded
everybody for the power.
Everybody who went and paid $200 and somewhat for the 5 days that we were there. They refunded everybody and said you didn't get the power you were supposed to get for the whole time.
How honorable is that?
So we're just giving everybody their money back,
Talk
even
about
if you
integrity.
had power. But it did get us thinking, like, you show up and you're expecting power.
And you ain't got no power.
You don't have power.
I got the power.
Mary said boondocking is most fun. Just don't turn on your generator if there are tenors nearby.
Yes.
Tenors frown on noise generator. We do have an inverter generator, so it is pretty quiet, but a lot of the places you can't run them at night anyway.
Freight. No, not Harvest Freight. Yeah, Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, if you're ever, and I mean, I think a lot of people lost power throughout this past winter season. Mm-hmm. Now,
we have 3 generators, but only 2 we can travel with.
In the past, I wouldn't have bought nothing at Harbor Freight. I felt like those tools were made out of like Legos. But now, they've really upped their tool game. And they have really decent generators.
As Chris said in our video, cheap and guaranteed for life.
Cheap and guaranteed for life.
Generator,
like Rachel.
Their generator to me, and I know some people frown on Harbor Freight because it's a lot of Chinese products, but most of the stuff in this country is Chinese products.
I need some cheap tools.
But their generators are as good as the Hondas at a third of the price. And so you can literally buy 3 of them for the price of one of the Hondas. So even if every year you got a new one, because it's got a 1-year warranty and the Honda's got 3 years, you're still less than buying a Honda. And, you know, I like the Honda, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
Greg said, my niece calls me a leprechaun because I was born on St. Patrick's Day and I actually have a pointed ear.
Oh, how cute are you? That's adorable. I love it. I mean, and I think that this is a beautiful time of year. Caleb was born in the month of March. March 30th is going to be his 22nd birthday. Like, I was laughing this morning because I love seeing beautiful Abby from House of Keto. She's going to be at the Keto Orlando Summit this year. So excited to see her. And every day she is sharing her postpartum story, as she is now, I think, 3 weeks postpartum. And when she says this, hi, you know, like, good morning, I'm 3 weeks postpartum today. And I'm like, hi, good morning, I'm Rachel, and I'm 22 years postpartum today. She's looking fantastic. Michelle looks fantastic. I was like, you know, it's time to lose that baby weight. The baby's 18 years old.
Nice.
Like, it's time.
Lori said, I'm making corned beef and cabbage for the first time ever.
How neat, Lori. I think that's so cool. I have posted every day this week a different way that we've made corned beef. 3 different videos for the last 3 days, because we've made it in the Instant Pot. We've made it in the sous vide. We've made it in the Anova, which happened to be your favorite.
Right.
But yeah, because Joe loves him some corned beef. But I also posted our shepherd's pie recipe because Rachel loves her some shepherd's pie.
Excuse me. Mama Cat said, Rachel, you've inspired me to grow out my hair, natural hair color. I'm hoping to have some beautiful natural color by my son's wedding. I
love that so much. You are going to look fantastic and just feel like really empowered, because every single time you see those grays coming out, instead of it being like, oh no, that's undermining what I'm doing and I got to go fix it, you're like, oh, that's adding to what I'm doing and it's just right.
Jesse said, do you know if Keto Brick plans to release the Bell's Brownie Batter again? It's now my favorite.
So it's my mama's favorite too.
I talked to Robert because it sold out so quick, and we had the whole snafu where UPS was supposed to send it overnight to Chris and Miriam when we were in Utah, and he got it 2 weeks later. Wow. I don't know what happened to UPS. Your dad left, and they fell apart.
I know. 38 years with UPS.
But when I talked to Robert, he said they are going to make another run of them. But he doesn't know when, because it's getting the ingredients and all that stuff. So I know they will. I just don't know when.
Marley's never had corned beef. Is it worth a try?
Yes.
Yes. It is very delicious, very easy to make. Now, some people like or don't like the seasonings. And you can add as much seasoning because it usually comes in a separate package.
It's very salty.
It's
but
salty.
It's supposed to be. Please don't rinse it off.
Yeah.
And ruin it.
Oh Lord, remember the kids have their godmother.
She would make corned beef, and she's Irish.
I know, and she would always rinse off. She rinsed off everything. She rinses off like the ground hamburger meat after like she's making, hamburger ground beef and then just like rinsing it off, and it's like, okay, now it tastes like nothing.
Yep. Lori said, we splurged and we bought a Wagyu corned beef from Costco for tomorrow. I can't wait. Day 74 on beef, butter, bacon, egg. I feel freaking-tastic.
Way to go, Lori. And you know what? That is a treat. That does make you feel really good when you're getting like a fancier cut of meat, something that's even like more elevated taste. Like that's going to be delicious.
Mama G said,
Mama
super
G.
excited to see you guys again in Omaha.
Yay.
How do I find out about one-on-one coaching or counseling with you?
Oh.
So you can go to our website. If you go to our website, up on the top it says coaching, and then you can sign up for a free discovery call. It's 20 minutes. We don't coach during the discovery call. We simply talk about what you're looking for and figure out, are we a good fit for each other?
Yeah.
And I will be honest, people have called us and we've done a discovery call, and I'm like, yeah, you don't need coaching.
We're actually really great at talking you out of it.
It's a horrible business model, but
we don't let you pay for something you don't need.
Yeah, but sometimes we can just be like, I think you're on the right track. Like, hey, wait a few months. But yeah, that would be the best thing to do is go ahead and sign up for a free discovery call. We do them throughout the week, and we can go from there. Keto Simple said, sounds like boondocking would happen in the fall when it's cool out. I can't sleep when it's too hot.
Same.
No, but we're going to do some in the summer. Because if we can do it in the summer,
we can do it anywhere.
But I'm planning on adding enough. Well, here's the thing. You cool down the RV with the generator during the day.
All right. Talk me through this.
If I add enough lithium battery, you can run it for an hour or two, or at least have your fans at night. So, but again, right now we have one 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery.
We're gonna ride that sucker.
That gives us about 24 hours. And with your lights, and then probably a little bit less, if you have a cloudy day in Florida, summer rains every day, and because we have a 12-volt fridge. So I want to have enough that you could run your fans overnight and cool yourself off that way.
Worst case scenario, I am just going to have like a blow-up swimming pool inside of the trailer and just sleep in that. I can do that.
Let's see. Juju said, I'm convinced the park ranger at Guadalupe National Park, we were boondocking in our SUV with the seats down and an air mattress. The tent sites were all taken. Describe what an RV is. LOL. I won.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I mean, the variety of RVs out there, there's some van RVs that are...
They're expensive.
Amazing. You talk about... like organization. If you're somebody that could just like marvel at the Container Store, you would love a van RV because they just get so creative on where they like stick stuff.
Yep. Terry said, so glad I'm part of the Two Crazy Ketos community. I did a 2-mile walk today.
Yay!
And I've been moving more and more since eating this way. I have to thank Joe and Rachel for the motivation.
I'm so glad that you're here. You make us better. Thank you.
Yeah, Randy said, just a reminder, don't travel with your water tank full. Your tank can fall. Fill up when you're close to you. That's what we travel with like less than a quarter of a tank, just enough to flush the toilets and stuff like that. And, we always just find someplace. Like when we went to Tampa, because you did have to bring water with you, what we did is we filled up at, what was that? Like a Pilot. Yeah. Which was like a mile away from like the RV show.
Very convenient.
That's what we did.
Now, in case you don't know, we actually also have a camping channel, which is called Two Crazy Campers, spelled with K's, just like 2KK, Two Crazy Ketos. And this week, one of our good keto buddies, Chris Miller, who happens to also be an RV tech, I had the pleasure of interviewing that young lady, and she talks about all of like some different things to think about if you are ever considering getting an RV. because and I thought it was fascinating. She is a wealth of knowledge. That woman is absolutely brilliant. She's certified in like a billion things.
Oh, I know.
So glad she's a part of our
she's
family.
learning how to 3D print.
Who got her down that rabbit hole?
I don't know. So blame Chris. This Chris. Chris. No, that's Chris. Keto Chow Chris.
This
but Keto Chow Chris got me into 3D printing along with Luke, L3D. John said, are plain pork rinds allowed on beef, butter, bacon, egg? If they are, I'm going to attempt to make a beef, butter, bacon, egg meatloaf with pocket bacon, ground beef, crushed pork rinds, eggs, and
pork.
Salt. So, okay, it depends on how you want to go in on this. Here, we have always incorporated plain pork rinds on beef, butter, bacon, and egg.
Yes, we have.
What I would tell you is, though, you shouldn't be using them as a snack. As part of your meal as an ingredient, absolutely.
So different.
But you're not supposed to be snacking on beef, butter, bacon, egg. So sitting down with a bag of pork rinds, no. Using them with your dinner to give some crunch.
A nacho?
We always did. They're high in fat, and that's the whole thing. Again, it's the pork skin, but they're higher in fat. They do have protein. And they come from bacon. Now, some people want to say only bacon. The first time we did beef, butter, bacon, egg, we have a video about it. We interviewed Dr. Berry about it when he challenged us, and it kind of brought it into the keto community. And I asked him flat out, can we have other things, other kinds of pork other than bacon? And he said, a little bit. Just you remember that most pork is lean and we're trying to eat fatty. The reason bacon, because we get this a lot of comments. Every day there's a comment on one of our beef, butter, bacon, and egg videos. Why can you have bacon if that's not beef, butter, or eggs? It's not a ruminant animal.
Right. It is not a ruminant
animal. And the answer that Dr. Berry said is because it's bacon.
It's bacon.
It's in one of the interviews with him. He said, because how do we not include bacon? You got to include bacon, but the thing is because bacon is pretty much 1 gram of fat to 1 gram of protein. That's why. The rest of the pork is not.
I think that we will always go to the Hard to Kill Summit because that's where BBB&E began.
Yep.
That was the discussion. I can still remember
sitting on the couch,
sitting in that
and I had
Airbnb,
that conversation with him.
And it was like, we've got to do something because people are afraid of fat.
Yep.
And Dr. Berry was like, I threw out a challenge.
And nobody ever did it.
And nobody ever did it.
We'll do it.
And we're like, we crazy enough to do it.
Yep.
And I'm so thankful that we did.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know what beef, butter, bacon, and egg is, maybe you're kind of new to keto. Beef, butter, bacon, egg is a challenge that Dr. Berry, and it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It is a challenge that he came up with a few years ago. And it's basically for 30, 60, or it's really designed as a 90-day challenge where you eat nothing but beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. So beef being any kind of ruminant animal. So
deer,
you can have venison,
goat,
bison, lamb, any kind of ruminant animal.
Michelle is loving goat.
Is like the best meat you can eat. You can't have any kind of sweeteners, so no sweetened electrolytes, no soda, and you can have 1 coffee experience a day. And we have lots of videos about it.
And big cups.
He had a challenge, and the challenge was he was trying to prove that you will not get fat eating beef, butter, bacon, and egg. And it is the ultimate elimination diet because most people have no allergies or sensitivities to any of those things. Some people possibly with eggs. But usually that's a childhood thing, not an adult thing. And it's usually the egg whites. But the whole idea was if you could gain 10 pounds of fat eating nothing but beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, so long as you were eating until you were satiated and just eating 2 or 3 meals a day, he said you can eat as much as you want. You can eat 10,000 calories a day.
Got to get a DEXA scan.
And you can prove that you gained 10 pounds of body fat in 90 days, verified by a DEXA scan, he will pay you $1,000. And his point was, it won't ever happen. And to date, nobody has ever asked for the money.
We really tried. Nobody can eat like Rachel can eat. And we didn't gain weight on it.
Nope. And we were eating like ridiculous.
It was crazy.
Yeah, Marley asked if corned beef is worth a try. Yes.
Sure is.
Janice made Instant Pot corned beef and 2 Crazy Ketos coleslaw.
It is better every day. I totally agree, Janice. I love you so much, girl. And I agree. I think that a lot of stuff, like I love leftovers. We were discussing that recently about like how some people are like, no way, Josefina, on the leftovers, but I'm a leftovers girl. I enjoy leftovers. And a lot of things I think of like anytime, like lasagna, a lot of casseroles, certainly corned beef and cabbage coleslaw. I think it tastes better the next day. It does. Are you a leftovers person? Because no judgment if you're not. We know a lot of people who are like, no, I don't want leftovers, but I tend to enjoy them.
John said, I'm making a 48-hour sous vide corned beef.
I'm coming to John's house.
I'll be having a lot for a meal to beef, butter, bacon, egg tomorrow.
Yum.
I think I might give a nice sear in butter and maybe bacon
fat. Okay. All right, I'm not going to be home tomorrow. I'm going to be at John's house.
The directions do tell you to rinse it, to be fair. Before cooking.
Yeah.
She rinsed it after cooking. So she would cook it in all of those delicious spices and salt.
Right.
And then rinse it all off.
I know. And Serena had it right. She was like, ew, a rinser. Or a rinser. She is.
Rachel made corned beef tonight for her son's 35th birthday. He has to work on St. Patrick's Day, his actual birthday.
Rachel, how are you look at Rachel's picture. How is Rachel having a 35-year-old son when she, in fact, is 35 years herself? Right. I'd like to know that math. I know I'm not great at math.
Speaking of St. Patrick's Day birthdays, you know who else's birthday is today? We should probably sing to him.
Who?
Steve's. Serious Keto.
It's his birthday?
That's right.
Oh, let's sing to him. Ready?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday to you. And many more. So many more.
Mrs. G said I just made my first Relight and Redmond salt order.
Awesome.
Thanks to Krazy Ketos.
You are not going to be disappointed, especially if you're trying things like any of their salts, whether it's just plain old salt, garlic pepper. The seasoned salt is fantastic. I even use it on a fast because you can just put like a little, like a teaspoon of it in a big giant cup of water, and it tastes like chicken broth.
Yeah.
There's no chicken in it, but it tastes like chicken broth.
Randy said, Joe, does your truck have a plug for 110? That can also help. Yeah, It does. It's not that good, though. But what I'm thinking of, and when we upgrade our battery, since I have a 100 amp hour lithium ion phosphate battery already, I'm thinking about mounting that in the back seat underneath the truck, underneath the back seat, with an inverter and a DC to DC charger so that you could literally have extra battery power in the truck.
Am I going to come home and the guts of our car is going to be in the driveway again?
Yes.
That's always fun.
John, thanks for the $5
hey, John,
super chat.
thank you.
I know Caroline would love to meet you guys when you come up here.
I would love that too. Oh, that'd be so fun, John. I'd love that. What a beautiful area to live.
Bob said 100 amp hours. That's really small. I have a 300 amp hour from my 5x10 car. I'm thinking about going to 800. I'm thinking about going to 800. Chris turned me on to a great place to get cheap batteries.
Cheap batteries. That's what, not the Dollar Tree. We've learned that the hard way.
No, don't buy Dollar Tree batteries.
Do not rely on Dollar Tree batteries for your hurricane radio. We've learned that.
Yep.
We've learned our lesson on that.
Jenna said, Joe, should I add the included spice packet to my corned beef? I think you should.
Yeah.
It's pickling spices is what it is. And it's what gives it an amazing flavor. I mean, it's already salty because it's in a brine, but it does bring amazing flavor to it. And so I usually add that and then add extra when I cook mine. Juju said, we had to be up and out at dawn for a 10-mile hike, so we drove up the night before.
Ooh, how nice. Okay, so this morning, Michelle asked, what are you doing on this date in October? Now, you assumed probably like I did that it was like John Paul and her were going to go someplace and maybe we would watch Jenny or Peyton, right? That's probably what you thought.
Probably.
You know what it is?
What? She's
like, I believe in you that you're going to stick with this running thing. There's a 5K and I will do it with you. Okay. I was like tears. Like, there's something about somebody believing in you, right?
That is. That's what Ellie.
I think that's probably why I'm also continuing to do this, because every day that I'm supposed to run, like, Michelle and Sarah G message me and say, like, how is your run? And I'm like, man, I have to get it in, right? Like, accountability. I'm so thankful for this family.
Mama Cat made twisty bacon
Mama
in the
Cat.
oven the other week. It was so good.
I love twisty bacon. It gets so nice and crunchy because I do not like snotty bacon. You know who likes snotty bacon? My brother. How were we raised in the same house? Do you have a sibling that likes their bacon incorrect?
You know how
I have a child.
You know how I decide if we should watch a movie?
Incorrect.
You ask Steven, what is your opinion on this movie? And if he goes, it's horrible, I'm like, that's my movie.
It's so funny.
And if he says it's really good, I'm like, I probably won't like that movie.
Do you have opposite tastes of your sibling?
I remember, what was that movie?
He thinks...
What was the name of that movie? We were dating, and he goes, you've got to go... Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz.
He's like, you've got to go see this movie. It is the greatest movie ever. And we're sitting in the movie theater, and I'm like, the only thing we are laughing at is that everybody else is finding this funny.
I know.
And I'm like, this was not funny.
It was not for us. But you know what? He's looking at our movie choices.
But then again, you like Nacho Libre.
I do like Nacho Libre. Nacho. It's the best.
Jenna said, Rachel, non-scale victory today. I was doing my normal everyday stuff around elementary school.
Okay.
I'm a librarian.
Oh, I love you.
And my Fitbit sent me a message congratulating on a 17-minute run.
You were moving. You were moving. And can I tell you, thank you so much for what you do. I love the library.
What is a library?
I go to the library all the time. All the time. I have a bag full of library books in my office right now. I love the library so much. When I was like growing up, like in elementary school, I wanted to be the librarian. The librarian was my hero at school because like she was the person who showed me so much adventure. There's so much adventure in books. So much.
I saw when I skipped over by accident, but Mary had said we must have been like really mesmerized in Utah with the mountains. Like she's like, you guys have no hills. Yeah.
I couldn't even speak walking out of Walmart.
We have the garbage dump near us. It's literally called Mount Trashmore because it's like one of the highest points here in Florida.
Teresa gets me. She likes Nacho Libre too. You get me. It's the best.
Sally, I've been doing beef butter bacon egg for 2 weeks now. I have painful urination. I went to the doctor. No infection. Any ideas? Why? Remember, we are not doctors. We're health professionals. First thought to my head was, where's your electrolytes? Are you salting your food enough?
Yeah.
My personal experience.
Make sure you're drinking.
Is that when I get dehydrated.
Yeah.
And dehydrated not meaning no fluid. Dehydrated meaning low on electrolytes, especially sodium. Mm-hmm. It tends to hurt when I go to the restroom.
Right.
And as soon as I rehydrate,
it fixes
that kind of fixes that problem.
Yeah.
So just take a look at that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Keto Simple said we're still planning on doing beef butter bacon egg at some point before the end of 2023.
That's exciting. Let us know when you're doing it.
Marley says, so thankful for beef butter bacon egg. I watch your vlogs all the time for motivation. So entertaining as well. Will you be doing a 2023 challenge?
Yes. Absolutely we will.
Right now, it's so weird. Just lacrosse season, like we're in week 5 and I love the game of lacrosse. I mean, it's one of the things when I referee a game and I'm the referee and I do the lineup with the kids and I say to them like, listen, don't hit anybody above their shoulders, below the waist, don't hit anybody in the back, don't, all that kind of safety stuff. Keep your mouthpiece in. And I'm like, my joke with them is always, listen, I have one simple rule. You play, your coach is coach, we officiate. Don't disrespect the game that I love. Aww. And I love this game so much, but I'm ready for the season to be over.
Because you've had a lot of games.
I did 3 high school games the other day. Back to back to back.
You've had like 7.
I was gassed when I came home.
Yeah.
And my partner, who is a 20-year-old kid, was dying. He was like, by the end of halfway through the second game, he was like, I can't move anymore. And I'm like, how can I outrun? I'm 52 years old.
Because keto, Joe.
Right.
Like, seriously. I mean, honestly.
I wouldn't be able to do this without keto.
No, it's stamina. We talk about weight loss, and weight loss is fantastic. But stamina, being able to do things in your skin, to be approaching 50 myself and be like, I'm going to take up running. That's crazy talk. That is absolutely crazy talk. I'm going to start scuba diving. That is nuts. You don't start new things like at our age, but keto, right? Like Sarah G is doing like amazing, like it's not HIIT workout, but it's like a boot camp type of workout. She's starting it.
That's awesome.
We're starting it now. Like, I mean, to me, it's unbelievable what we're able to do.
Mama G said Triple B&E may have reframed my entire life.
Wow.
I started with you in January thinking I'd never last 10 days, and now here I am in March thinking I might do this for the rest of my life.
I love that. At the very least, if you've ever done it, you're able to cross over into being able to say, like, you go from being on this side of, like, there's some things I will never be able to get rid of. I will never be able to live without, put the ingredient here. Whatever it is. You're like, there's no way I can live without this thing. Then you do 30 days and you get to change your classification to, okay, I could.
Right.
I can do that. I am capable. And you start to think to yourself, what else am I capable of? Because I brought a can-do attitude into this. And then you do feel really good when you eliminate some inflammatory things. And now it will forever be a reference point to you. It will forever give you an idea of, I know that if I'm in a busy time of my life, if I'm going on a vacation, if I really want to feel optimum for any reason, I know that there are some ingredients that I can trust, that I can rely on. And so a lot of times we'll find that we just go back to it when you're really busy or when we've got a tough time, because you can rely on the ingredients of Triple B&E. They won't inflame you.
Chris said it was totally Chris Bear and totally Joe.
And totally Joe.
Nice.
Joe also.
John said, no Dr. Berry for me. I lost 14 pounds in the first week.
Wow. Yeah. Seriously, right?
Kat said, I didn't like beef, butter, bacon, egg. I felt nauseous most of the time and got diarrhea every single day. It sometimes we do get that. I call them bathroom pyrotechnics. It's
anytime you change.
And a lot of times it's balancing your salt and your fat and especially if you haven't been eating a lot of fat. You know, I mean, that was the whole idea with beef, butter, bacon, egg when we started doing it with Dr. Berry a couple of years ago was people were eating really high protein and like no fat.
So your body is like,
all of a sudden you start, it goes back to working a muscle that you weren't working. If you have a gallbladder, which is a muscle, one of the reasons a lot of people end up having their gallbladder removed was because like we were taught don't eat fat. So what happens when you don't use a muscle? It goes into atrophy, but it can be fixed. But if you're not eating a lot of fat, your gallbladder is not handling that fat properly, and so for a little while you get that diarrhea.
Well, and it's just like, and it's a common surgery now to have it removed. In fact, I was talking to somebody this week that had a friend that really, regrets that she did it, but she was only in her 20s, got her gallbladder removed, but she had been practicing like the lowest fat she could do. So when she had fat, it was like, of course you feel terrible because it's like, it's completely foreign. And I find that anytime I try something new, my body reacts like a toddler having a fit. Right? It's just like you go to the bathroom, you get a headache. It's like very weird because I think that it is new, and when our body doesn't know what to do, it just freaks out. Right? And I also think that sometimes we just have to kind of power through it a little bit and see if it doesn't like change, as you were saying, that you get like the fat and the protein ratio.
It just takes a little
adjusted.
Joanna said, I love leftovers.
Yay!
I cook once and I eat for 3 days.
Isn't that nice?
Shauna said, I can do leftovers twice, then I'm tired.
Joe likes variety, so I would say you're probably like that too.
I can eat them all week now, but I just want a lot of different leftovers. It's not that, like, I will eat it. Like, I'll eat chicken salad for 5 days, but I want something in between. Like, I will buy a bag of chicken, what happened to the rest of my chicken? I went to get it and it was gone. Did somebody use up my
could be that the kids
chicken?
did. Sorry. I didn't eat it.
But yeah, so like I just want variety somewhere in there. But that's why I meal prep. Semi-retired Bob said, I'm a big eater. What is this strange word of leftovers?
Right.
Juju said, I decided that Shenandoah National Park will be where I do my 52 hike this year.
Nice.
I'm super excited for it. I narrowed down to two trails Best family trail, 1.5 miles, or best of the park, 9 miles.
Nice. What a good thing to be debating.
Leia said,
that's a good vacation.
Yes, leftovers are everything. Yes. I can eat my Mexican beef 4 nights in a row quite happily.
Oh my goodness, I love Mexican beef. It's been a while since we made it. We need to make it because it's like so easy in the Instant Pot.
Jesse said, I would struggle without leftovers because I'm frequently cooking different meals for myself and my husband as we're keto, but our 2 children with autism aren't.
It can be really challenging. You know what I am also craving is...
Why is my car just now telling... Oh, we're performing a system maintenance. I'm like, my car is telling me that it's locking the doors, but like...
You've been home for a while now.
I've been home for a little while.
But I love... You know what I love in the Instant Pot? When we cook up chicken bones in the Instant Pot. I know. And then I can just chew them. They're so good. Jerry! Hey, J-Dog.
Jerry said, good evening, all. Patty loved my smoked corned beef. Her coworkers were so jelly.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Had scrambled eggs with corned beef this morning. So yummy. Hopefully my recipes and picks are inspiring.
They are. They're incredible. You've got to follow Jerry on Instagram. He is like always sharing beautiful barbecue pictures. And I don't blame Patty. Like, I bet I would be bringing in to lunch all of the time and like, look what my hubby made.
Serena said, I used to hate leftovers until I started calling it
meal prep. Yep. It's all about mindset, right? Now it's not leftovers, it's meal prep.
Nicholas and Chrissy said, so I just started taking electrolytes. What a difference in how I feel. I use element flavor electrolytes in plain seltzer water. Should I drink them with the meal or does it count as snacking? I don't think it counts as snacking. Now,
look at that
we've talked about this, and so is Dr. Barry.
You guys are so adorable.
That some people have something called the cephalic insulin response, which is where you have a little bit of an insulin reaction when you have something sweet. Though some people say it actually happens when you even think about something sweet or you smell something.
I think that's me.
I would say have it throughout the day, and if you notice an issue, maybe try only having it with meals. I, for the most part, have it with meals, but also when I go to games, like if I'm having a cramp, I suck down an electrolyte and I don't worry about it. Because even if you are having some type of a cephalic insulin response, it's going to be a very tiny one. And I talked to Dr. Lenskis about this, and we're actually interviewing him for our podcast
I'm so
tomorrow.
Excited.
But if you were having a major insulin response from having something sweet like stevia, you would see a drop in your glucose.
Yeah.
So if you are having one, it would be pretty small, like you would, because whenever you have something, a lot of times you do have a little bit of a glucose reaction, but you don't see it on a CGM or on your meter because your insulin is handling it.
You know what we should totally do once we put on this new CGM? I should just not have any sweetener for a day at all. Nothing in my coffee.
Okay.
And then like lay down and do nothing but like think about sweet things.
Well, that won't work.
And see if anything happens.
Yeah,
I just want to see if something
happens. Insulin.
I know, but I want to see if I just like have a spike just thinking about it. If my thoughts can affect it. What do you think? Do you think that me just thinking about something sweet might actually see it register on a CGM?
Kathy said, I just started up the ice cream maker, Keto Chow Strawberry. Made the butter recipe this time and let it sit overnight.
It's going to taste better. Talk about leftovers that taste better.
Why doesn't this highlight? It's like, it doesn't like $20 super chats for some reason.
I like them.
Thank you, Jackie, for the $20
Thanks,
super chat. Said, I want to apologize for being quiet in the community, but I want to promise that I'm still on beef, butter, bacon, egg. Jim is sticking to it. I saw your video. Talking about longer, his clothes are too big now, and he's lighter than he was in middle school.
Wow.
I will have a 1-year update soon.
Oh my goodness, congratulations on that. And I remember when he was like, I'm not even considering this, right?
Right.
And again, Jackie is the perfect demonstration of be the lighthouse, not the foghorn. She was like, do whatever. She was supporting him. She wasn't trying to force him. She was just living in front of him, demonstrating that it was possible and having amazing results. He joined her in this, and look at what's happening. Like, congratulations. And I totally believed that you were still on BBB&E no matter what, whether we see a video from you or not, because I know Jackie. And when she says, I'm doing this, she's doing it.
Somebody asked, I saw it, but I didn't save it. If the Relight Boost is on sale, I don't know. I just know what they sent me in an email was that the sticks are on sale for 20% off. Keto Simple said at Amazon batteries, AA and AAA.
Yes.
Yep, that's what we do.
Don't trust the Dollar Tree with your batteries, your pregnancy tests, or probably any other test. And also hair dye. Don't be getting your hair dye from Dollar Tree. I see it being advertised and I'm like, that can't be good. That can't be right.
Semi-retired Bob said, library, yes. A card catalog was my Google growing up.
Yes, mine too. I love that. In fact, if you go into some of these fancy stores like Restoration Hardware or something, and they have basically turned a old library card catalog into something that you can utilize in your home. I'm like, I want that, Joe. I don't know what we would do with it. I don't know what we would house in it, but I want it because it's like childhood. Also, one of my top favorite smells is library smell. The library smells so good to me.
Franny said, my daughter and I are like that. If she hated it, I would like it.
Yeah, you'd be the opposite. Yeah.
Ola said, A Man Called Oh, great book. The Swedish version of the movie was good too.
I want to see that. I saw somebody said that The Man Called Otto.
Yes.
And that may be the same one that you're talking about. Tom Hanks. It's got to be good, right? I was flipping through, deciding on if I wanted to purchase it or not yet, or rent it because I see that it's off for rent. And I literally, with Tom Hanks movies, have to be like, am I in the mood to cry today? No? Okay, I got to pass by. I always cry.
I know.
Mr. Rogers had me bawling. Castaway, bawling. Hey, Shauna.
Shauna said, Joe, how's your side in the giant bruise? Did you get some arnica? No, I could not find it. But it is getting better. The black and blue has gone away. It's still got a little bit of bruising, you can feel it.
Yeah.
But it is going down finally.
I like to play with it because it's like a weird thing.
Mimi said, I ordered a 2 Crazy Ketos 16-ounce flask, and I used it for the first time last week. The cup is leaking.
Oh,
I think it might have the rubber missing in the cap. Can I buy a new cap?
We can send you one.
Let me look and see. Just send me an email.
Yeah. And
obviously, you probably would call the company, but let me look and see what we have.
Yeah.
Just send us an email. Send me an email at Joe
at 2crazyketos.com. And we'll make it right.
Jerry said, please sing happy birthday to Hope from Mission Keto. Today is her favorite Bible passage.
John 3:16. Okay, let's do it.
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hope. I was like, you took the thing down. Happy birthday to you and many more. I was going to go, happy birthday, Mission Keto.
FMP Feel Good said, I wish I could get my hubby to do beef, butter, bacon, egg, or even carnivore so I wouldn't have to prep 4 pounds of veggies for him each week. He loves his sugar-free gum, sugar-free chocolate, homemade yogurt, with stevia, and tons of veggies.
You know what? You're so awesome doing that.
You're doing a great job with them.
You are.
But to me, okay, so he may not be doing beef, butter, bacon, or carnivore like you, but
he's doing good.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
And so we did get a little bit of hate from people because they're like, why are you guys eating vegetables?
Oh, I know it.
Right?
I couldn't believe it.
What's wrong with vegetables?
Oh, my gracious.
Vegetables are keto so long as you're eating green leafy vegetables and, but if you're eating starchy vegetables like beans and corn and beets, I love beets, but you can't eat them, but there's nothing wrong with vegetables. We eat about 90% meat, but once in a while we want a salad. And again, I will always stand by, if you're going to eat vegetables that are locally grown in season. Here's the cool thing. We have our big garden system. We can get 2 to 3 salads worth of lettuce out of that in a week.
I haven't killed it yet.
Which means we each get 1 or maybe 2 salads in a week. And it's just green. We're growing little tiny cherry tomatoes, but it's pretty much just
They're the tiniest things
green.
I've ever seen.
Plus, we have 2 boys in our house. And Anthony, I didn't even know this. Did you know this? Anthony's been picking lettuce off for his lunches.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, of course.
He said he goes over every day and he pulls off lettuce leaves for his lunch.
Hello.
And to top it off, there's nothing better than fresh spices. I love fresh spices when I cook. fresh spices are very expensive in the grocery store.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And then you buy them, and then they go bad when you don't use them all. So here we're growing tarragon and chives and dill and babe.
You know what
We made pizza the other day, and I went and I have 3 different kinds of basil. I just pulled off basil leaves, and I put it all over the top of the pizza.
That chicken crust 2.0 is where it is at. Now, I will say, here's something funny. You got to say, for the most part, you can go back to 4 or 5 years ago when we got started.
Yep.
We eat the same. We eat about the same, Joe. We haven't changed this. I mean, we're keto and we've been keto and we're keto.
Well, yeah.
We've changed some things.
We changed something. We eat less salad than when we started. We did like a lot of people eating 6 to 10 cups of veggies.
Can we celebrate that though?
Right.
I feel like that's a win.
But yeah, I mean, vegetables are keto. And let's here's the thing. What is the dog doing?
She don't know.
Keto is just a body state. When your body is utilizing fat for fuel and converting it into ketones. You could literally get into ketosis eating carbs. If you severely I'm not recommending this.
No, we do not.
But if you're severely under eating, you could be eating 500 calories a day of nothing but Oreo cookies. You'll get into ketosis. You'll feel like garbage. You'll be in and out of ketosis, but you will get into ketosis. When your body burns off the 500 calories of Oreos, it's gonna turn to its fat and you will temporarily be in ketosis. Farmers, when they're dealing with their cattle, it's one of the signs that there's a problem with their cattle is they go into ketosis.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
That's how they know
them.
when they're not eating. Alyssa and John said the crazy thing is cream cheese raw is a no-go. Though as a cooked ingredient, I can tell. That's how I'm that way with heavy cream. We
do have a recipe for making your own. That is delicious. It's really easy to make, and it's freaking awesome.
Marley said, yes, I never thought I could give up my constant need to chew gum all day, every day, but since doing beef, butter, bacon, egg, I've lost my cravings for it.
Isn't it really nice when you're like, I can let something go? I love it.
Jazzy said, I loved how I felt on beef, butter, bacon, egg, but I have no gallbladder, and the bathroom pyrotechnics were so extreme, I had trouble leaving the house after eating.
Yeah, you definitely
that's where you have to start changing things up.
And you have to time things differently. My best friend actually has no gallbladder, and it's just a lot of it has to do with like how she spaces out her meals to make it work.
Yep. Keto Simple said, I'll cook a big batch of steak so I can prep Chandra's lunches for the weekend. That's awesome.
Yeah, Maitreya says, yeah, people do complain about my vegetables or cheeses, but it's my journey, not theirs.
Right.
So yeah, like
it's what is sustainable for you. And so, I mean, if we see in our groups somebody beating something, and we recently, I felt very bad, but I guess somebody put up something that they were eating, and somebody
that hurt my heart.
Basically were like, you shouldn't be eating that. That's like, you should only be eating meat. And she made a comment. Well, I'm not going to post here anymore.
I know. I was like,
so when we see that kind of, we're going to delete posts because everybody's on a different journey. When I got started on keto, if you would have told me you're never going to have a piece of chocolate again, you can't ever have a piece of cake again. We had this conversation with your mother. I remember this brutal, like, yelling match in our garage where she's like, if you think I'm going to go the rest of my life without sugar, I'm not. Guess what? 5 years later, she's still not eating sugar, right? But at the start, we look at things differently. And so we have to remember everybody's on their own journey. And if sustainable for you is having a keto brick, using Keto Chow, occasionally having a piece of keto chocolate, incorporating vegetables, then that's what you should be doing, and nobody should beat you up about it. And if somebody in our group is beating you up about it, tell us and we'll kick them out.
Well, I'm a nerd. I'm like, I grew up as like an outcast. Like, I know what it feels like when people like don't make room for you at the lunch table, don't want to sit by you on the bus. Like I like in high school, like I became friends with my best friend because we both didn't have anybody, and we made sort of like a little misfits club to like sit in the corner outside of our high school building because I was that unfriended. And so I'm just a super nerd. And so inclusion and feeling acceptance and feeling like you belong is of the utmost importance to me. Nothing will set the hair on me like somebody feeling like they don't belong. So like that is the only thing that's gonna get someone booted is if someone like is being like, you don't belong here. Like what? Like no.
Yeah.
No.
So and now, along with that, I am gonna say you should be eating mostly meat.
Of course.
You should not be eating a giant salad with 6 ounces of protein.
No.
You should be eating a giant ribeye with a little bit of vegetables. Like, you still need to, like, meat is the best food that you could eat, especially ruminant animals. It is one of the reasons that a lot of people who go vegan get very sick because they can't get all of the vitamins and nutrients unless they want to spend ridiculous amounts of money on very expensive vitamins. Not the stuff you buy in the store, because that stuff's garbage.
And
there's certain vitamins and nutrients you cannot get without eating meat. That's why carnivore is good for you, because you're going to get so many vitamins and nutrients. So you should be meat heavy on your diet, but it's okay to have vegetables. So, Tim said, Rachel, you look great.
Oh, thanks so much, Tim.
A few more before we get off. Joanna said, Rachel,
hey, Joanna.
Watching you eat the ends of the chicken bone inspired me to try them. They used to gross me out. Now I love them. So chewy and all that collagen. Thanks for the inspiration.
Thanks so much for, like, you know, making me feel like I'm not a total weirdo. Like, it's, like, give it a try. Especially, let me tell you, put some of your chicken wings in an Instant Pot, cook it, like seriously cook it, like, you know, make your bone broth, and then go ahead and like harvest them. I mean, it'll be crumbling and falling apart. We've got like recipes on how to make bone broth in the Instant Pot, but it is so good. Like, don't knock it till you try it, because it's like they like just dissolve in your mouth. It's just such a great mouthfeel.
Alyssa and John said 10 eggs with 2 tablespoons of butter, 5 slices of bacon, and some random fatty cut of meat, and a pint of Keto Chow ice cream pretty much every day. 5 grams of Redmond salt, which is about a teaspoon.
Wow.
Going on 3 years.
Seriously, look at that. That's you got all of the major food groups. Yep. I love it.
What for said, I've never tried orange cream Keto Chow. Would it be worth getting a big bag, or should I try a single packet first? Okay, so listen. The cheapest way to buy Keto Chow is always using our link, because you get 10% off, and buying it in a big bag. If a flavor is available in big bag, I will always recommend buying a big bag. However, if you've never had it before, I would probably get a single packet. Yeah. I love orange cream. It literally tastes like a creamsicle.
I like it with coconut oil. And if you use
coconut oil as the fat source, it is amazing.
Yeah.
FMP Feel Good, he does a great job. He lifts heavy and 8 days a week. But it would simplify my shopping and meal prep. Yeah.
I totally get that.
Let's see. Roxanne said my bottle did that too when I shook it up. Hot, warm. When it cooled down, it was fine.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, for the blender bottle kind of thing.
Mary, I'm sorry.
What?
You scrolled up. I saw her. Said my daughter. C19 long hauler taste has never corrected, so a lot of food tastes bad to her. COVID-19. Oh, she had it for a long time. She doesn't like a lot of keto food, but keeps going back because of how good she feels. It's a struggle. Yeah, we actually met somebody at the meetup. It wasn't a COVID situation, but it was a head injury after ice skating that resulted in her in her mind, it is sending the wrong signal as far as tastes and textures, and she struggles a lot with like tasting things because it just doesn't taste right when you eat it, and there's only like certain flavors that she can even taste, lemon actually being one of the flavors that she could actually taste, but it's definitely like such a struggle.
Janice said, I've gotten an aversion to bacon for not, but I got tubes of sausage from Aldi, which is sugar-free, and I pressed them into a tortilla maker and froze them.
Nice.
No smart comments, but I think that's genius.
That is absolutely genius, Janice. We're going to totally do that.
Annette said, I made a ground beef pizza crust the other day. Beef, 1 egg, smushed pork rinds, brown on one side, flip, add topping.
Yum. We have a pizza recipe that's really good like that. Ah, Nilly's here. Hello. How are you, young lady?
Shauna said, so I'm all about the heavy whipping cream in my Keto Chow and coffee for 2 weeks, all butter only.
Way to go, Shauna. That is freaking awesome, girl.
Ready Said Keto said, went to a Japanese steakhouse last weekend and was super proud of myself. Wow. Filet, shrimp, scallops, and double veggies, no rice. Even on my birthday. Good job. As Mary will say, keto every day, all day.
Keto on my birthday.
Joanna said, my sister has no gallbladder and insists she can't do keto. Nothing I say convinces her. She's a nurse and I think she believes the old news about fats and obesity.
It's a challenge. I mean,
turned her on to one of Dr. Barry's videos about doing keto with the gallbladder.
Yeah.
Brandon said, Joe, my doctor said I asked for a CGM. He said they're way too expensive and a waste. Just do A1C. I'm tired of pricking my finger, trying to find what foods to avoid on a type 2 from 9.7 to 6.5 on keto.
That's fantastic.
Okay, but she wants, if you really want a CGM, listen, I've had long conversations with Dr. Barry and Dave Feldman and other people. Last year in Orlando, we were talking about this. And we were all of this kind of the same opinion that A1C is kind of an antiquated test at this point. I mean, it was great because it was the only way to know what's been going on with your glucose. But with a CGM, you can see it. So, hey, he's the doctor. I'm not. I respectfully disagree that they are a waste of money. I personally think, and I know Dr. Barry has talked about this, Dr. Lenskis has talked about this, that everybody should get one at least once, even if you're not a diabetic. And listen, I don't know what kind of insurance you have, but I just picked up 2 Freestyle Libres. My insurance covered it a little bit. It was $75 for 2 of them.
And we have really cruddy insurance.
I would not get the Dexcom. I think they're very expensive, like $500 for a month. Freestyles are cheap. And the new version, you don't have to tap your arm anymore. And I don't have it here, but it's like the size of a quarter. It's literally this big. So it's tiny, and you don't have to tap your arm. So it's, to me, just as good as the Dexcom. If you really want one, I would say to him, like Dr. Barry's little trick. Rachel loves it when I say this. Say to your doctor, and you're a type 2 diabetic. And say, listen, so here's the thing. You won't give me a prescription. I'm willing to pay for it. So I want you to notate in my chart, I've requested a prescription for CGM, and you refused. And I want a copy of those medical records right now. Watch how fast he'll write it. Because basically what you're doing is, here's what you're telling him. You are nicely telling him that if my problems don't get better or if they get worse, I'm going to sue you.
I can't hear it.
Because you're denying me a way that I can help monitor my glucose.
I can't hear it in my eyeballs.
Now, you can also use companies like NutriSense. Like, we have discount codes for them where you don't need it. You can also call a teledoc. Like, what is the one we use? Sesame Care. You go on there. It costs you like $50, and there are diabetic ones that will write you a prescription for them. You can just use
Miss Tabitha doing back there?
She's just, I haven't been
doing
home.
her thing.
Yeah. John said after 2 years on keto, 2 years in a row with a clean checkup from doctor, lost 80 pounds
Way
overall.
to go!
For some reason, doctor tried to call in weight loss meds for me. That's a big no.
I love you.
Tabitha off.
So before we go, because clearly this dog needs some attention, let's sing to Suzanne because tomorrow is her birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Suzanne. Happy birthday to you and many more.
Shauna said, here you go.
So many more.
It's okay, Rachel. My specialist loved that idea, that recommendation of telling a doctor.
There'll be no living with him from now on.
She
I'm
said
shipping him to Napa Valley.
Doctors need to know the importance.
Just want you to know. This man in the trash can shirt's coming to your house, Shauna.
I think a CGM is invaluable.
I do too.
And even if you get one prescription, you get a 2 week, a 2 week or get a month of it, test yourself, see what's going on. It's going to help you with a couple things. Realize things that do impact you. And I'm not even talking about food, like going to the gym, having sex with your spouse. There's all of these.
What are you pointing to me for?
All of these things increase glucose, and that puts your mind at ease. It makes you realize that, hey, there are things. It also will help you realize, like, hey, I need to change things up. Like, why is my glucose so high in the morning every day when I'm eating keto? Well, you're probably not consuming enough fat. So I think it's invaluable. Plus, you get to start realizing things like, for those people, not to beat you up, but if you're incorporating a lot of the low-carb breads and tortillas that you're buying in a store, there's a good chance they're affecting you. And when you stick test, a lot of times it may take longer. You may not see it when you stick test. Those things have a margin of error of 20%, but you can see a trend when you see.
I was wondering if Chris Miller, I don't know if she's still in here, if she ever, because she had like, when we went out to eat, she had 3 days left on her CGM. And
she was trying to
She was trying, like, her, like, lines were like, oh my goodness. Talk about somebody. She was doing, like, Chalk Zero. She was doing, like, different ice creams, like Enlighten to see, like, or Rebel to see, like, does anything make it, like, go up? But it looked like everything she was eating stayed within a handwriting line.
Right.
Like, if you were in elementary school and you had that special paper that was, like, for handwriting, all her stuff, I mean, you would see, like, things go up and down, but it stayed within the handwriting line. Yeah. Across the day, it was amazing. But I remember she said she was going to maybe try, like, a tortilla and see, like, if that does it.
I told Steve, I'm not willing to do that to myself.
I mean, that man is, that birthday boy is a brave soul, isn't he?
Yep. Okay, guys, we're going to get off now. Make sure you tune in on Monday for Keto Beyond the Couch live at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Have a great night, guys.
We love
Bye.
you.